This is the first of many videos we have been working on for Barry's latest novel, Someone Better Than You. He's been a published author since 1987 and taught at Lawrence Tech University for many years. It has been very special to work together on this marketing campaign. We'd love to hear from you in the comments or reach out at barryknister.com. Thank you for the opportunity to have us talk about your book, Someone Better Than You, by Barry Knister. Can you please tell us about the title of this book?
Right. It's kind of a cheeky title. You know, it's sort of meant as a challenge to the reader. Somebody picks up a book and it says, someone better than you. Wait a minute, better than me? But it's a line taken from the book. And it actually relates to the main character, Brady Ritz's formula or theory about how to live the good life. He said, if you want the key to a good life, marry someone better than yourself.
Marry someone.
That's where that title comes from. Right.
Under the title of the novel, A Comedy of Manners,
right.
What does that mean for someone who doesn't know what a comedy of manners would be, maybe our audience?
Sure. There was a kind of comedy written in the late 17th, early 18th century called just that. Restoration comedy was what it was called, Restoration of the Monarchy. And it mostly focused on making satirical fun and critiquing rich people, the upper class. And to some degree, this book is about that. It focuses on, it's a comedy of manners, but not about rich people so much as the upper half of the middle class in retirement. It takes place in a Naples, Florida golf community.
Right.
And so the book is, at least in part, a comedy of manners about life in such a community. And it's also a character study of a certain kind of person, and a kind of unusual, conventional.
Mm-hmm.
There are conventional people, and then there are people who strike us as unconventional, and Brady Ritz is unconventional.
Yeah, it seems like he sees the world a bit differently than everyone else kind of living in it. Where does this eccentric character come from? How did he come to be in your world
right.
and in this world?
Right. Yeah, this book is the story. The editors who helped me with it compared it to a novel called A Man Called Ove. Tom Hanks made an Americanized version of this. It's written by a Swede. And it's really focused on an older guy who is really at odds with the times and himself. And that's true of Ritz. He is at odds with that. He can't really accept a lot of the trends and features of modern life.
Right.
He has a special suspicion. He's fundamentally a skeptical person, and he's skeptical of modernism, technology, trends.
Got you. Yep. In the past, Barry, you've written books that were more mysteries. So what made you change directions from mystery to something like A Comedy of Manners?
Yeah, well, it's true. I wrote mysteries, a series of 4. And I think in the end, I just got tired of having to spend so much time and energy dreaming up new ways to kill off characters. I was pretty good at it. I had some highly inventive ways of offing people. But, it came to feel kind of corny and a little bit like Ritz, my character, because his experience causes him to have to do work that he thinks is beneath him, that he thinks is not really worthy of him. And to some degree, I came to feel that way about writing mysteries. I liked writing them, and I think I was pretty good at it. I wrote unusual mysteries in that they weren't whodunits. The classic mystery holds off revealing who the bad guy is or whatever until the very end. I have a couple of mine where you know who the bad guy is in the first chapter. So the emphasis is not on trying to wait for the whodunit, but a different approach to mysteries. But anyway, I got tired of it, and I wanted to write something better tuned to my own, what do we call it? My clan, my cohort.
Yeah,
which is older retired people.
Main character in your previous books, she was a female journalist, right?
Correct. Brenda Conte, right.
I'm assuming you didn't get tired of Brenda when you were thinking about this next novel. You went for a male perspective now.
Yeah, the whole idea of creating a series of mysteries that focused on a young woman journalist did not have to do with anything other than the marketplace. The simple reality is that if you set aside children's books,
Yep.
about 70% of all fiction is bought and read by women. And what they mostly buy is books written by women for women.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I going to do? I decided a simple market decision. I will make the central protagonist, the point of view character in my story, a young woman journalist, Brenda Conte. And I hope that doing that will help the majority of readers who are women to forgive me for being a man.
So you wrote 3 books with Brenda?
4.
4 books with Brenda.
Yep, it's a series of 4.
So you seem to get to know her very deeply through this writing process.
I did, and I made a point of making sure those books were all standalones. It is a series held together by the central character, but those books are not dependent on an understanding of what went before.
That's awesome. I always believe a book is very good, or a book or a movie is a good one if it can stand alone without its other counterparts.
Yeah.
That's always my benchmark for a good movie or book.
It is a decision, and some writers are good at it and others aren't, and some have written so many books they have to do it. They have to figure out a way to, their readers become so attached that they want more and more read, and they know what went before, so it's a little easier. Now, I'm not well known, so I had to produce books that would operate independent of one another. It is this character, the central character in this current book, again, is an older man in retirement.
Before, is he based on you? Is he someone you know?
He is. The question, I suppose, would be, you wanted to write something closer to home, and that's true. I wanted to write something more about me and the world I've experienced in the rest of it, and so yes. But I do not attempt to produce some sort of autobiography or some kind of thinly veiled,
Yeah.
roman octave, as they call it, in which you nudge, nudge, wink, wink, are actually alluding to real people. No, I have drawn on real people. The central character has a lot of me in him, but we aren't the same. I'm kind of an edgy, sarcastic character, and so is Ritz. But as far as the other characters, yes, they have elements of people I know in them. I think, though, that the people that draw on, that see themselves drawn on for the characters in the story, would also clearly understand how they've been fictionalized. This is not, again, an effort to produce portraits that are the same.
Right. That stuff you went for a very different approach to before. You were trying to market very smartly, writing in a woman's perspective so that there would be more women, but now you're going for something that is really true to you. So what are the prospects for Someone Better Than You? What would you say you expect to have people take away from this book? Why should they read this when there's so many books out there? Is it because it might be relatable?
Well, this is not written as in any idea of attempting to hit the charts and produce a bestseller.
Right.
This is written for a certain kind of reader. Not necessarily highly educated, but an educated reader who reads a lot and doesn't just stick with genre novels. Somebody who's addicted to zombie books is not going to like this book. Somebody with no sense of humor is not going to like this book.
Nope.
And the sad truth is, a great many people don't know what to do with irony or with sarcasm.
Yeah.
And that kind of reader, kind of straight-faced person who doesn't respond to a kind of edgy character, is probably going to be put off. I did my best to make Ritz an accessible, sympathetic character, even though he's grumpy and edgy and skeptical of modern times. Well, I would like to add something else too. In terms of writing about older people, I wanted to avoid what I consider a standard cliches related to writing about old people.
Yeah.
They're either made, like um, sweet old folks or grumpy old men. And Ritz is not sweet. You could call him grumpy, but he's really more uh, angry
Right.
than just grumpy. And his response to the world he lives in is to be in conflict, to push back, to resist it, to resist the efforts to fit in, so to speak. Ultimately, what it has to do with is defending his sense of personal self-respect, and he does it with what he does in terms of what gets him in trouble.